bolsters. And I'm going to take a blanket, a rolled blanket under each shin. So on that long edge, the fold, kind of folding in half lengthwise and then rolling the blankets. And you can sit lower down and, bring the blanket just around the ankles if you'd like. And if you prefer to, even just have the blanket around your shins, even sitting up higher, blanket around the shins, you can do that too. And just wanted to show a few different options. And sometimes it's nice to switch up a little bit how we sit. So I have the shins crossed. I brought the blanket just to the knee. Adjusting sitting bones, so you can see with the extra support, really allows the groins to be soft, the spine to lift. And we're going to, we're going to sit for, maybe 5 minutes or more. So making sure that you're comfortable, you feel centered on your support, you feel centered on your sitting bones, and then feeling the spine aligning, the head aligned, so the chin, chest with the midline of your body down through, to the tailbone, perineum. Tenting your fingertips to the sides and really get the chest to lift and expand and open. The gaze forward and roll your shoulder bones back. Tuck the shoulder blades into the body. Descend your tailbone down. And again, really let the thighs release down. And then maintaining that, really feeling the floor and the sides of your body, although we're a little bit more maybe cylindrical. And I feel the sides, front and back, maintaining that lift and length. Bring the hands to rest on your thighs. Palms can be up or down, whichever you prefer. You might want to start with the palms down. Let the back of the arm lengthen and settle. Feel the collarbones broaden to the outer shoulders. Either letting the eyes gaze downward to the floor, 3 or 4 feet in front, or allowing the eyelids to gently close. And if you'd like, after maybe 4 or 5 breaths, you could always turn the palms to face up. So just doing that when it feels, or if it feels right for you. So settling in, becoming connected inward. The eyes soften and recede, the chin, jaw relax, the tongue release. You envision the 2 endpoints of the spinal muscles, thinking of them elongating, and not like maybe a rubber band or something where if you were to pull the 2 ends in the middle, it would become, thin and really hinged, straining at one point and thicker at the ends, but that the whole length of the spine is elongating equally. Take a few deeper exhalations, so you might inhale and then even breathe out through your mouth a few rounds. And then come back to your more normal breath, breathing in and out through the nose. You might even really feel how the breath warms and filters the air. The inhalation, it might feel a little bit cooler. And then when you breathe out, You feel the warmth, or you don't notice that cool touch. As we sit, focusing on the breath. Thought I'd read a little bit tonight for tonight's class practice from a few of Thich Nhat Hanh's books. I thought fitting since he passed away on Friday, just to bring some of his teachings to this class. These two books I have are actually meant to be children's books. I have three that he had written for children, but they're still fitting for all ages. And it was on inviting the bell, the sound of the bell, like calling us home, reminding us to be more at peace with ourselves and with the world. We pay loving attention to that voice. Listening to the bell can be very wonderful, and it can bring us a lot of peace and joy. It can bring us back to our true home. It says, body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of this bell. May the heavens, may the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow. So I'll repeat that. So as you ring the bell, body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of this bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow. Feel that connection back to our true selves, that vibration resonating within and around us. Taking this opportunity, really feel and experience the breath, the power of our breath, and we're mindful of its movement. Breathe in, feeling the expansion of the lungs within. The exhalation, the release of any tension, strain, or stress. Sit a few minutes longer, a few moments longer. You might want to change the cross of your shins, just in between. Settle the mind once more. The body follows. The breath remaining even. Try not to let the mind get ahead of the breath. Often it can be helpful to repeat, as you inhale to yourself, breathing in. I know I am breathing in. Breathing out. I know I am breathing out. The mind stays with the breath. Was another Thich Nhat Hanh's mindfulness breathing practices. Would say, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain. Breathing out, I feel solid. Breathing in, I see myself as still water. Breathing out, I reflect things as they are. Breathing in, I see myself as space. Breathing out, I feel free. Feeling that calm, peace flowing through your body. Maybe even bring a smile to your face as the tension eases away. Here we can bring the hands to our heart, the chin to the chest. Taking a moment and reflect inward, coming back to our true selves. So we slowly open our eyes and lift our head. We release our hands, we can roll the shoulders down the back a few times. And then from here, I'll show a couple of options of a chest opener with the bolster. So if you have two bolsters, we might use two. So I'll show with one to start, and then I'll show an option with two. If you don't have two bolsters, but you want to try, you can always stack more blankets on top. So I have the one bolster and the rolled blanket. I know we did this if you were in the restorative class, something similar. So I'll show that option starting out. The legs can be either straight or into Baddha Konasana. So coming down, using that bolster to open the chest, that pillow for the back of the head. This time though, instead of bringing the forehead more parallel, I want to try and get the head to go back just a little bit. So you are catching the back of your neck and head, but we're letting the head, skin of the forehead go more down towards the hairline. Arms still come out to the sides. The legs can either open out to the sides in Baddha Konasana, So this would be a variation of Supta Baddha Konasana or extending the legs straight. And then if you want to try an option to this pose, it would be actually having two bolsters. So it'd be quite high. You might still need some support under your hips, but it's a really deeper chest opening. And then you might want a bit more height to support your head. You might not feel you need any height and you could extend the arms just overhead. If you're really catching the arms out to the sides, we don't want to bunch up at the neck and shoulders. So that's when using some support, this roll here under the head, it can be nice, the arms out, maybe more at a diagonal or overhead. So it's a little bit bigger, chest opener. And you can always sit on, maybe a chip foam block or a blanket, okay? So this, two bolsters is a little more intense. So if you feel that's too much, go to the one bolster. If you want to try something in between, you could have a bolster with a blanket on it, okay? So it's not quite as deep of a chest opener. So I'll stick with the two bolsters. And because I am, your chest is opening so much, the arms overhead, right? You might feel too much on your shoulders. You could give some support to the arms with another pillow, couch, chair. I'm just showing, an option here with a chair. You might use another bolster or pillows to support the arms. Or you can just let them hang here a little bit and almost lift the hips and go, back and forth, just to really elongate the spine, move the shoulder blades in, open up the chest, the front body, the abdomen and diaphragm. If extending the arms straight feels too much, you could catch your elbows and just hold on to the elbows. Move the tailbone slightly towards the heels. So we're not straining too much in your back. You may feel a nice stretch at the armpit area, the arms, but of course, taking support as you need. I have quite a few bolsters here. I know not everyone maybe has as many, but you could use pillows. Maybe not at this moment if you're in the pose, but I'm showing, I have the arms supported on some extra bolsters. Could be pillows if you have, blocks even. Again, make sure you're not straining at the neck or really bunching the upper back up to your neck. You want the skin of the upper back to move down towards the hips, the spinal muscles to elongate, the vertebra moves into your body. Extend through the backs of the legs if the legs are straight. You're in that bound ankle pose. You're really releasing inner thigh. If you're catching the elbows, change the hold of your elbows. Come out whenever you need, but we will try to stay another minute to a minute and a half. Keep gently gathering the back body in. Chest open, the side ribs expand. then after the next out breath, be prepared to come up. Take your hands behind the back of your head and just carefully lift your head to re-engage your neck muscles. Stay here a few breaths. And then slowly we'll press to come up. Come to sitting, even take height to sit on if you need, and just, feel the lift again to the chest from that chest opener. Sensation that maybe brought to the head. And then we'll turn this now into a cross bolster. So I'm turning the top bolster almost to be a little bit of a teeter-totter. Again, some people might prefer to have their feet up on some height, so I've got another bolster. This might be blocks or a pillow. Sitting on one end. Bringing the hands to the bottom bolster, slide the hips down a little bit, and then opening up over that bolster. The head doesn't necessarily come to the floor, but it might, a little bit. You can extend your legs up on the bolster if you would like. If it feels all right, feet stay on the floor. Extend, so we don't want to just drop down to the tailbone side. You are trying to really feel the fulcrum kind of in this mid-back area, the arms and legs balancing, so you're not heavier on your legs than your head side, or this would be a bit heavier on the head side, and then you'd feel the legs kind of floating. You're trying to find that balancing position. So the head might come to the floor, just the shoulders won't. If you don't feel the head's coming to the floor, but you want some support, add a height of a blanket as you need. If you want it a bit softer, of course, adding a blanket under your head. They'll extend through the backs of the legs, through the backs of the arms, opening up the bottoms of the hands and feet. If you're unsure, I'll show that once more. If you're not in the pose yet, I'll just show it once more. I've sat on the end of the bolster, the top bolster, and bringing my hands to the bottom bolster. Coming back, and as I press with the feet, sliding down, so the skin of the upper back again moves away from your neck. Extending the legs, extending the arms either to the side if over the head is too intense. The arms can come overhead. And we're opening up through the front body. Feel the inner arm lengthen, the inner leg lengthen. Don't shorten the inner arm and legs. Let that extend as much as the outer arm and outer legs. Let the thigh bones drop down, the upper arm bones release down. Feel the breath along the back, each vertebra, releasing any gripping, holding in the lower back. You move into the upper back. Where we bring our awareness, we can maybe feel and release a little bit more. As you extend the arms and legs, you might bring the breath to the front body more, feeling that front inner ribs, the area around the abdomen release. And then we bring the awareness to the back body, to the spine. Feel vertebra by vertebra. And release towards your support. And then slowly we'll bend our knees. Bring the arms back to the sides. Again, you might catch the hands behind your head briefly to re-engage your neck muscles and press to come up. Slide your hips down to the floor so you still have that bolster set up, and just cross your shins as you come back. This kind of supported pose. Take a blanket behind the head and neck. Just let the arms release closer to your sides. We'll stay a few moments here. So shins crossed, back supported on an angle, supporting the head and neck. Feel that the face has experienced almost like a gentle massage, and that the tension has been removed from the forehead, the eyes, and around your mouth and jaw. Any gripping that may become habitual in our day-to-day lives. Feeling that ease away from the chest, diaphragm, and abdomen. And ease between the shoulder blades and upper back where we hold a lot of tension. Like you can change the cross of the shins. Let the breath become deeper, longer. So the duration of your inhalation has increased. The duration of your exhalation has increased. That's happening naturally. We're not forcing that increased length to our breath. We enjoy the support that's holding you up. So as we're surrendering to this support, After the next few exhalations, the eyes are closed, open your eyes. So slowly come back up to sitting. And then the option now will be to come to sitting. We're going to sit and do a little bit of a digital pranayama. So you might want to bring your back to the wall. Just for the space I'm in tonight, I've kind of brought my setup a little bit closer. I won't bring my back to the wall, but you might want to have your back to the wall. And I'm going to go back to sitting up a bit higher with the blanket supporting the outer shins. If you don't feel like sitting tonight and you want to do this reclining back on the floor, you can always do that. So if you prefer, you could just go down to one bolster, have your blanket behind your head and neck, and then you might, do more of a supported Shavasana if you don't feel like sitting at this time. Okay? Or at any time you feel you want to lie down, of course, do that. If you're feeling cool, you can bring a blanket around your shoulders or putting a sweater on. So you settle into the seated pose here, or even if you're in the supported Shavasana, come back to that feeling of how open the chest felt through the previous poses. It was to help remove any hardness in, the muscles of the chest, any hardness in around the lungs and diaphragm, to create some release even in the abdomen. We've been sitting a lot. Maybe it's just me, it's been sitting a lot, but just opening up the abdomen, the groins. So bring that memory back, how clear and open the head felt, the space around the brain created. Come back to following your breath. And although we won't start this right away because you will be closing your eyes again, or if you'd like to, you can close your eyes. I'll just show the digital pranayama we will do. We won't start it right away, but just so that you can see before you maybe close your eyes. I'll show with the right hand, my right hand. So I usually start making almost a fist with the hand so that I can keep the ring finger in at the beginning, the pointer and index finger in. And then I want to keep the pointer and index finger in and bring the ring and pinky finger to touch the tip of the thumb. So it's not just the pads of the hand, the fingers, you're really trying to bring the tips of the fingers to touch and almost make a little bit of a hollow at the wrist. So it's not, like this, you're almost making a little bit of a hollow there. The fingertips coming to the bridge of the nose and then sliding down to that soft part of the nostril, the top of the nostrils here, centering almost the arm so it's not sinking down. So if you want to even just try that a few times, coming up and down, just getting that ease. And also paying attention that the head, that as you bring the hand up, you don't start to turn your head. Okay? It's not turning your head to meet the hand. The head stays aligned with the torso. And the hand comes up to meet the head, not the head turning to the hand. Just as we repeat that a few times, getting that flow So then we're going to come into doing a pranayama where we're going to inhale a normal in-breath and then bring the fingertips up, slightly close off both nostrils. So I'm not closing them off completely, you're just closing them off a little bit, like you would maybe close off a hose just a little bit, and then breathing out through both nostrils, but they're closed slightly. And then you can release your hand, inhale, bring the hand back up, slightly close the nostrils as you exhale. Remove your hand to inhale. Take any normal breaths you need in between. And I'll give more instruction as we go. I just wanted you to see what we would be doing. But let's start first, both hands at the legs, palms up, relax the fingers, even extend the fingers. Let the shoulder blades move in. Just come to following our breath once more. Even come back to repeating, breathing in. I know I am breathing in. Breathing out. I know I am breathing out. Release any gripping tension you might be holding in your hips and back. The next exhalation, bring your chin slightly down towards your chest. So we begin to create a little bit of a chin lock. The sternum lifts up to meet the chin. So your chin may not quite come down to reach your chest, but just let the chin move in that direction. Stay with your normal breaths. Watch that you don't start to lean forward. That's when being at a wall can be helpful. It allows you to know if your torso is starting to lean forward. Move the front body back. And then start to get the hand ready. You could maybe start with that fist, keeping the pointer and index finger into the palm, bringing the ring and pinky finger tips to touch the thumb, and then exhale, emptying your lungs. Take a full inhalation. At the top of the in-breath, bringing the hand up. Slightly close off the nostrils. Exhale completely. Smooth, slow, steady out breath. Remove your hand. Take a normal in-breath. And as we just start out, take a few normal breaths. You may not be joining those breaths in a repetition. You may need to take these few normal breaths first. And then once more, exhale to empty the lungs. Inhale, filling the lungs from the bottom up. Bringing the hand up to the bridge of the nose, letting those fingertips slide to just that soft part at the top of the nose. Slightly closing the nostrils, exhale. Releasing your hand. Inhale. Just take a few normal breaths. At this time, you might release your hand if it's tiring for your hand at the beginning. And we're going to repeat maybe 5 more rounds like that. So you go in a piece that is good for you. I'll just talk us through 1 more round and then I'll leave you to finish the other 4 or 5 on your own. The chin moving to the chest lifting to meet the chin, creating the chin lock. Exhale, empty the lungs. Inhale, filling the lungs. Bringing your hand up, tip of the thumb on the right side, pinky on the left, slightly closing off the nostrils, and then exhaling. Release your hand. Inhale and take a few normal breaths. Repeat that at your pace. If you feel ready, you can join them together without the normal in-breaths in between. With an in-breath, back to your normal breath, release your hand. Lift your head, just stay. being present, the experience, sensations you may feel. Next exhalation, slowly opening your eyes. You don't have to focus on anything too intensely, just the opening the eyes, may roll our shoulders. From here, we'll make our way down a little bit lower towards the floor for our Shavasana, but you might want to even just come down lower, change the cross of the shins, and briefly come into maybe a little bit of a forward bend here, just to remove, any tightness we may have created in the hips and back. If you have more pillows or blankets and you want to add a little bit more height, just feel an ease come, hips and back, through the neck and shoulders. Any tension maybe in the back brain and the neck, let that release. And then you feel ready, coming down for Shavasana. A blanket if you'd like behind your head and neck. I would maybe suggest that just some softness, some support. Taking bolster if you want behind the backs of your legs, or for some added weight to the top of your thighs. A blanket to cover yourself with. We extend our legs. Adding the weight of one or two bolsters if you'd like on the thighs. Feel the sacrum spread and release, the lumbar area elongate and release. Adjusting your shirt, skin of the back as needed. Let the arms and legs extend out and drop down into the earth. First, you might be aware of the rise and fall of your abdomen. Let that ease The exhalation, extend into the arms, the feet, the ankles and wrists. In the breath, come in contact maybe with the feelings that arise. Our acceptance come as we release, as we cannot change. Let the breath continue to bring us back to our true self. We envision even a seed growing within, the breath nourishing, the idea of the earth element, water, fire, space. Air. Perfect balance. And just as we end this evening, I will leave you here in Shavasana. We'll end with the ringing of the bell, reminding us back to our true selves, remains within us, connection.
Thanks so much.